Part 3 of how to have fun on Facebook and hide the stuff you don't want other people to see. Hi, I'm Rena Carcillo, the Mommypreneur, and I'm here to talk to you today about privacy settings. Over the last couple of days, we've talked about how to hide certain posts from certain people. We talked about what's in your account settings that you needed to know in order to keep yourself safe on Facebook. Now we're going to go into your privacy settings. And I want you to pay close attention today because Facebook makes this a little bit confusing. Frankly, I think it's probably that way on purpose. So we want to make sure that you protect your information in the best way possible. Now remember, just like getting to our account settings, to get to our privacy settings, we just click our little drop down arrow here and scroll down to privacy settings. And once we're in there, Facebook gives us 3 different options, 2 of which are global and 1 is a little bit more granular. So our global options are public and friends, and they mean just about what you'd think they would mean. Public means that pretty much anybody can see pretty much anything about you. Friends mean that just your friends can see what you're up to. And custom means that you've taken time to set things up in a custom manner. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Now, if you're just using Facebook pretty casually, you're probably just going to need the friends setting with a couple of tweaks. But if you're using Facebook for business, like most of us mommypreneurs are, I highly recommend you use this custom feature. Alright, you can also, just like with your posts, hide things from specific people. Alright, we're going to cancel out of that and look at each one of the settings individually. So hang with me on this one, even though it's not the most glamorous topic in the world. It'll help keep you safe and possibly hide you from a little bit of embarrassment. At the very least, it'll keep your prospects out of your last Friday night party. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at is how to connect. If we hit edit settings here, this is where we can customize this. And it just allows you to say who can look you up by your email or your phone number, who can send you friend requests, and who can send you Facebook messages. Now, if you're using Facebook for business, I highly recommend leaving this as everyone. But if you have some specific need to hide yourself from the global Facebook presence, this is where you would do it. You can come in and choose not to display your email address and phone number. You can choose that only friends of friends can send you friend requests. So that means you have to be connected with someone who's connected with them already. And you can choose only friends of friends or only friends to send you messages. You can see I leave this to everyone because I use Facebook primarily for business. So I'm still in control of whether I accept the friend request or whether I reply to the message, but anyone can find me. Once you've set how you connect, the timeline and tagging is next. This one has a lot of cool features in it. So when we hit our edit settings, we can choose who can post on our timeline. Then who can see what others post on your timeline. Again, I have this to friends. That way, my public persona is controlled entirely by me on Facebook, not what my friends might post. The cool thing here is you can also customize this. So if you have particular people that you'd like to leave out of this so they can't post on your timeline, you can do that right there. Review posts friends tag you in before they appear on your timeline. You want to just make sure that's on. If you click it, it'll allow you to enable or disable it. Make sure that's on. What that's going to do is give you an activity feed. See this activity log? And anything that someone posts on your timeline will show up in your activity log before it goes on your timeline. And I'll show you an example of what that looks like. See, my friend Diana tagged me in a post yesterday. So before this shows up on my timeline, it showed up here for me to approve it. Really cool way to be in control of what shows up on your Facebook profile. Then you want to say who can see posts you've been tagged in. I happen to have this customized because there's a few people, my ex-husband being one of them, that I'd rather not see some of the stuff my friends post on my wall. So I can come in here to custom and choose who I don't want to see it. Then You can choose to review tags that other people add to your posts, and whether or not you're seen as a suggestion in photos that Facebook thinks looks like you. Now, to me, I think that Facebook's facial recognition program is pretty darn creepy, so I opt out of that, which means no one is going to get the option of being suggested to tag me in a picture. Once we've set that up, we can go to Ads, Apps, and Websites. We talked about this a little bit when we were talking about our account setting, but this is another place where you can check on your apps, you can turn them off globally, or you can edit them individually. Now, how people bring your info to apps they use. This is another important one to control. People on Facebook who can see your information, they can use it with other applications if you don't come in here and set this. So if you don't want other applications and other websites to be able to access certain types of information about you, this is where you control it. Then again, this is where, if you don't want to show up in a public search, this is where you can come in and disable public search. Now we can go back and look at our last two categories. First of all, limit the audience for past posts. With your timeline, Facebook now defaults to showing all of the posts you've made. So anything you've put up in the entire time you've been on Facebook is available unless you go through and individually delete, hide, or recategorize posts. This is a tool that you can do that all in one swipe. Now do realize that once you do this, it can't be undone globally. So be very careful. But for many of you, if you just want to hide the stuff you did in college and you're not really sharing public posts, all you've got to do is come and click this button. It'll hide everything in the past only to your friends. The final thing in your privacy settings is blocked people and apps. This is really useful for two reasons. First of all, it allows you to globally block people who are bothering you. It also allows you to block apps. So if you're just sick of seeing requests from a certain app, this is how you deal with it. All you do is click Manage Blocking, and you can add specific people. Now usually I will only block someone if they've done one of two things. They've either harassed me or someone in my network, or they've spammed me continually. So you can see my block list is pretty small. Then you can block app invites. Maybe you really like that particular friend, but your great Aunt Elda can't stop asking you to play Farmville. Well, here's where you block them just from an app. And that's what I've done with a couple of my friends. Same thing with event invites. Maybe they're spamming you with invites to events. You can block that here. And then this is how you come in and see all the games and quizzes and annoying applications that you've blocked. And you can see I have a huge list of them because I hate the games. So as soon as I start getting lots of game requests, I just come in and I block it. Simple as that, and it keeps my feed uncluttered. So these are lots of different things that you can do with your privacy settings. I'm Rena Carcillo, the Mommypreneur. I'm helping people make money on Facebook.